don't know if it was an accident or not, but you did it. So you need to own up to it. Like, we know who you are.
She said justice is coming to the person who killed her son.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about current events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT time. PGT time. Tune in on PGT time. PGT time. Come join us on PGT time. PGT time. Join us on PGT time. PGT time. Yeah.
In order for y'all to do what God is calling y'all to do, to take y'all platform for it to plateau and it can go to levels that you never seen, don't best believe it's gonna come with devils.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like they know what I'm gonna say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody gonna clean it up.
Me and Jason. We gonna clean it up. It's your girl, the missus, baby. The missus with the kisses. Mwah. What's good, baby? What's good in the city? I see y'all out there waiting. Y'all sitting up there like, what the hell going on? Why is y'all late? Y'all said 9 o'clock. And here it is, 9:10. What the hell going on? You know what? It don't matter what's going on because we here, baby. We are here. We are here. And just in case, because I see y'all pulling on up, okay? Y'all pulling in. So just in case y'all missed that first clip, okay? Just in case y'all missed that first clip, let's run that back,
I don't
baby.
know if it was an accident or not, but you did it. So you need to own up to it. Like, we know who you are.
She said justice is coming to the person who killed her son.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
Don't play with us. Don't play with us. The clock is ticking. You heard her. You heard what she said. The clock is ticking. Okay? So we are here, baby. Shout out to Peachy Tea Time. Peachy Tea Time. Y'all already know, if y'all been rocking with me since day one, you already know that Wednesday nights, Peachy News Edition is my favorite. My favorite edition. Favorite of all, okay? And we got 4 of them. Monday, which is just Peachy Tea Time. Wednesday, Peachy News, my favorite. Friday, Peachy, what is it? Our Peachy Thoughts, a married couple's point of view, my least favorite, but I like it. And then Saturday, the weekend spot where I have business owners, indie artists, celebrity artists, actors, actresses. If you got something going on, you holler at me. You get your exposure. Everybody gets to see you, all of it. Okay, all of it. But on Wednesdays, which is tonight, I can't do my show without my homie from the hood, baby. He ain't in the hood right now. He done moved on up, but y'all, yeah, Jason done moved on up. But he do not forget where the hell he came from, baby. Yes, Mr. Jason.
What up?
Detroit in the building, baby.
You
Detroit
already
in
know
the
what it
building.
is. What up, though? How y'all doing, man? Welcome in. I see all y'all in the building. We have BG. We have Mo Cheeks. What up, though? We got Carolyn. We got, is that Shanice? As I always said, Lee. I see you in the building with us. Thank you all for tuning in. Absolutely, man. If you guys are brand new here and you're tuning in over on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscription button, hit the thumbs up, and then also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any more of these shows and kind of know exactly what's going on throughout the week. But now, if you are someone that's like, yeah, man, I like this on the phone, but I want to do a little bit different, you surely can by going to your Roku TV and typing in Peachy Tea Time, and that's time spelled with a Y, Tyme, and you can watch us on your 57, 58, 59, 60, 70, 75, 80, and if you got a 90 screen, 90 inches, I like to take a picture so we can see that. You hear me? But if you got anything 55 and under, yeah, keep watching on your phone. Keep watching on your phone. You might as well just keep it there. But nonetheless, we appreciate you all being here. If you are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, make sure you hit that like button. Also, the subscription or follow button over there as well, so you know exactly what's going on with us. You dig? But now we back at it, man. You see, we got the new colors, new digs. I call this the new outfits. You see our new layouts. You feel me? Our new outfits here. And we got a family tonight. You know what I mean? The TKOs are in the building, and they came with a squad of them, man. We see Desiree, Brenda, Vanessa. We got the TKO mob in the building. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to see such a blessed family and friends tagging along to hear about this special young man.
Yes, definitely. This was a devastating story. But the parents are here, and they are here to tell their loved one's story, which is their son, TKO, baby, TKO. And before they come up, I must tell y'all how, and Jason too, how I ended up meeting this family. Okay. I met them through an independent artist. Shout out to Daniqua, baby. Shout out to Daniqua. Daniqua be doing her thing. We might even play one of her tracks tonight. But shout out to Daniqua. She was like, my friend got to come on. She got to come on. It is a must. She come on to Peachy Tea Time. And I was like, okay, what happened? She told me what happened from her perspective and everything. And then she put me in contact. Baby, that's all she had to do. Jason, that's all she had to do.
That's it.
Put me in contact. And when I tell you, me and Ray been talking ever since. And the first day that I talked to Ray, and I told her exactly what I do on Peachy Tea Time, the first thing she said was, I need you to speak at my event. I said, I'm there. I'm there.
You ain't said nothing but a word.
Now, I'm finna tell y'all the secret. It's a secret. Ray don't even know this. And I'm finna tell Ray the secret why she down there and she ain't even up here. Okay? The secret was this. I had never spoke at an event a day in my life.
Say this will be my first time in front of a group of people. You know what I mean?
I said, but I can't tell her no.
That part.
I can't tell her no. I got to tell her yes. And baby, when I tell you I'ma go, I'ma be flawless, I'ma slay, and I'm gonna do my thing. Okay? What God put on my heart to say, that's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, okay? And I'm going to the basketball tournament too. Don't know shit about basketball, but I'm in the building. I'm like, go ahead. Go.
Cheer me yelling sports.
Don't know what's going on. But baby, I'm act like I know what's going on. Because I know what type of event this is. I know what matters the most. Okay? And when you know what matters the most, you show up, you show out, you do your thing. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm honored. I'm so honored that she asked me. Other things been falling into place literally right after she asked me. So I know it's nothing but God. Nothing but God. Shout out to God. Shout out to God.
Shout out to God.
Yeah, Jason think I'm crazy when I give shout out to God. That's what needs to be done. That's what needs to be done.
It's very formal but informal all at the same time. Showing and giving love.
All at the same time. All right. So, like Jason said, we see a lot of new people out there tonight. We are on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. We have a good time. I don't know if you thought before you hit that button, play. To come on here, I don't know if you thought you were going to be crying the whole night. I don't know if your anxiety got all bad and all that. But I'm telling you now, this a whole nother type of show. We're going to celebrate TKO. We're going to celebrate these parents down here. We are going to talk about each and everything that these parents want to talk about. The floor is theirs. Okay? When you hear stuff on the news, you just hear just a little bit. Bits and pieces.
That's it.
But when you come to PGT time and you have the family, what you say, Jason?
I said, you trying to hear it all. You don't hear everything.
You hear it all. You hear it all. We here. We ain't going nowhere. When they say no more, that's when we say goodbye. And you see my babies at the end of the show. Okay. So we are about to get started. I see y'all in the building. But we're about to go ahead and get started. Before we bring them up, Jason, usually I talk my shit a little bit. Explicit language, also allegedly. I talk my shit a little bit, and then I'll be like, and now we have the mom. Oh, we do the hand clap. We do all that. But Jason, we've been doing a little bit different.
Right.
We're going to do a little bit different tonight, okay? Because I feel like this family deserves a little bit different. All the family deserves a little bit different. But this family right here, not just because I'm finna speak at the event, not because of that, but Jason, I think this might be the first family that we have had on here that are doing things in the community. Tough. And they got the stuff to show it. And we gonna see it tonight. But first, let's bring up our peoples. These are folks.
That part. Family.
We gotta bring them up right. And here we go.
Welcome to the 4th annual TKO Day. The name TKO comes from my son. His name was Thomas, and he earned the nickname TKO. We have taken that name and we have built it into a brand that represents awareness for senseless gun violence, a brand that represents genuine love and support and unity in our community. We felt like taking the name and using it as a brand was a way to keep his memory and his legacy.
Here they come, baby. Here they go. The family, baby. This is the family, baby. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, baby. Do it all. Yes, we have Ray and Gary in the building, baby. Thank you once again.
Thank you for having us.
Me and Jason is so honored to have you both here with us tonight. I must start off by saying this. It's very rare. It's very rare that we have parents together on the show telling the story about their child, their loved one that is no longer here with us today. So when I tell you I'm honored and I'm thankful, and my condolences to you and your family. But again, like I said, we are here to celebrate TKO. He is having a great weekend this weekend, baby. We finna turn up, have a good time. A good time. This is my first time. So we want to start off this show by the both of you just telling us about TKO, Tommy Lee. Yo, baby, tell us a little bit about him.
Man, it's a lot, but I'm gonna try to keep it small. Tommy was a four-sport athlete here in Paulding County. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Um, and it's so crazy because we still laugh today trying to figure out how in the world he managed to play 4 sports when we couldn't afford one.
Mm.
So times were tough, but he was so determined that he was gonna do it all, and he did. You know, he even come home one day and told us, "Man, I'm getting ready to sign up for dance class," and I'm like, "Dance class?" No, he said cheerleading, cheerleading. I'm like, cheerleading. I'm like, "Look, dude, cut it out. Let your sister do the cheerleading, right?" But you know, he very bright guy, and if anybody has a conversation with you about him, the first thing they're gonna say is how helpful he was and how mannerable he was. And they were saying that all the way down to the sentencing of in the murder case. He was bright, touched a lot of people, and we were stunned, you know, because when you're living your day-to-day life, you only think about what you know of your family and your children. And when something like this happens, it's either going to bring out the worst or the best. And we had people all over coming out, you know, and as I stated on one of the news clippings, that I didn't have to be the mother, you know, trying to convince everybody he was a good boy. It was hundreds of people there that said that for me. And that just that played out to the person he was. And we're still proud of him.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That is so wonderful. Now, on Peachy Tea Time, especially on Wednesdays, we like to dig down deep. We like to dig down deep. We ask questions that the news may not ask, but we like to get things out there and about. And one of the questions that I like to ask, because a lot of us Black people in our community,
Yeah.
we feel a certain type of way, or we go a certain type of way. We go by what society says. So I like to clear it in the air, put it out there right now. Was any of this gang related?
Not on our end, no.
Hmm.
Well, let me answer your question. No, it was not gang related.
Okay.
But the guy who committed the crime, we did find that he was in a gang.
Okay. Okay. But as far as TKO, he was not in the gang, nothing
No,
like that at all.
no,
It happened how it happened, and you're gonna explain that to us to the best of your ability tonight.
yep,
Okay.
yep,
And I hate to ask that question, Ray, but you know just as well as I know, in our community, that's the way a lot of people think coming off
Mm-hmm.
the
listen,
rip.
we're here to be as transparent as possible. And part of the reason why we throw on these events is because we want to talk to people about how and why. So if you're
Exactly.
affiliated with gangs, that's going to be part of your how and why. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Exactly. Hmm.
So we're okay with that. Ask away.
All right. So let's go ahead. Let's just dive on in. Let's start with, when was the last time that you talked to TKO before he was murdered?
Um, Actually, it's so crazy how the universe works. It was a Friday, and it was right after the blood moon occurred, and I knew something crazy was going down, but I never would have imagined this. And I was on my way to work that morning, and um, out of nowhere, a little red Lexus T-boned me.
Mm.
And it was a little 15-year-old girl driving. Her parents had just bought that car the night before, and she was taking her little brother to school. But she stopped me from getting to work that day. And I went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, they sent me back home. right? And I always look at that as the universe giving me a little bit more time with him. Because I came back home and I laid on the couch and he was on the computer and he was saying that he was gonna go to work. So I'm like, well, what time you gotta go to work? And he's like, this was August 18th, 2017.
Okay.
And it was just before maybe 6 p.m. I remember what I was watching. I was watching the lottery when you buy your dream house show.
Mm.
And he said he was leaving and I fussed at him. I said, well, you said you didn't have to be to work until so-and-so time. And he was like, well, I'm going up Trey's house. I'm like, well, why you got to go up to your friend's house if you're going to work? You know, my normal routine. Well, Jane's coming and pick us up. And I'm like, well, okay. And I said, all right, son, I love you. And he walked out the door. And that was the last time I seen. Well, I called him back. I said, if you're done with the computer, you put the green piece of paper back on the computer. I said, you know, they be looking in. And he came back and he put the little green piece of paper on the computer and then he left out. Mm-hmm. And that was the last time we saw him.
Now, was that the same day that he was murdered?
He was murdered later that night, 11 something. He was shot and he was pronounced dead 12:04. Well, actually, he was they called it at 12:06, but I felt it at 12:04. I kept yelling 12:04. And they confirmed it at the hospital.
And one thing that I did notice is that I noticed it a couple days ago, that the basketball tournament starts at 12:04. And I told my husband, not knowing, but I told my husband, I said, I bet you TKO died at 9:04. It was pronounced dead at 12:04. 12:04. So for you to come out here today and tell us that, I'm literally like, wow, you know. But let's go ahead and tell us how you found out. Gary, you as well. You know, let us know how you both found out, where you was at, what you was doing, and how the call came in. Let's start with Gary.
So I believe I was working second shift. I was working second shift at I was working second shift and I was on my way home from work. And I got a call from the guy that he's supposed to went over his house early that day, right up the street, Trey. I got a call from him. And I knew something was odd because I never get a call from none of his friends at this time of the night. It's usually from him. But when I saw his friends call, you know, I really didn't think anything of it. I was just, I felt like maybe he got them to call me for some reason. So as soon as I answered the phone, I heard the excitement in his voice. He was like, Mr. Gary, Mr. Gary, Mr. Gary. It's Tommy, it's Tommy. So I'm like, what's Tommy? What's the matter? And they say they took him to the hospital. He got shot. And the only thing I could think of was, oh my God, his mom was at home asleep. Like, and she had just been in an accident that morning. So I had to be the guy to call her and tell her this about a child that she carried for 9 months. Like, but I had to call her before anybody else did. I had to give her that message myself. So
okay, so at that time, did you know that he was deceased or that he was just shot?
They at the time he was just shot. It's just that he was shot, and they was on their way to take him to the hospital. So I kept asking them where they was at, and I guess the driver was going so fast that they didn't know. They were just telling me which hospital they was going to. So I asked them, was he alive? Was he breathing? They say when they left the scene, they're trying to keep him up. And all I knew was call his mother. She was closer to the area they were in than I was. So I just called his mom.
Okay, Ray. So he called you. And can you pick up from there?
So I jump up and I put my little red Nikes on and I ran as fast as I could, jumped in my car and got to the hospital as fast as I could. It's practically next door. And I got in the waiting room and they told me it was critical, and I immediately fell to my knees and I saw Trey. But then they rushed in while I'm on my knees, and they airlifting him to the other hospital, Kennestone. Get there, come on. So I run back out, and I'm getting in the car, and there's a cop in the way, and I remember yelling at him, and he's looking crazy, and I'm like, move! So I zoom past him, and I'm going as fast as I can, but my mind is going crazy, and my electronics are going crazy.
That's not good.
I'm calling my mother, couldn't get her. I'm calling people, but all of my electronics are going haywire. So I finally get my aunt, and I'm saying all kind of stuff, but I'm trying to get there. I get out and I get there, and as soon as I get in, they tell me, no, go back.
Wow.
And I'm like,
as a matter of fact, I had to call you and tell you.
Yeah, but that I get in the car and I'm riding back, and then I just started feeling this feeling that I never felt before. And it made me look at the clock, and I'm on the phone with my aunt, and I'm yelling 12:04, 12:04. And I said, he's gone. It's 12:04, he's gone. And electronics went haywire again, dropped her call, and he's calling. And I knew it when he called, because he said, where you at? Can I come and get you? And I said, no, I'm almost there. And I was still full of this feeling, and all I wanted to know was what time they called it, because that would have confirmed that I knew that he was joining my energy at that point. Because I believe that a child never leaves their mother.
Absolutely.
So I could feel him rejoining my energy. I can't really describe it, but that's what it was. And I got there, I went in, and then they told me, and all I could think about was how I'm going to tell his sister.
And how old was his sister?
I think maybe she was 16. She could have been 15 or 16. And they were really close. And we had just had our baby. So she was with him. And then she got there and she just kind of went off and was asking to see him. And I really didn't want to, but I didn't want to deprive them of that. Me, myself, I did not see him. For me, I born a child that was alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to see a child that was dead. And so I allowed my last memory of him to be right at that computer.
Exactly.
And I gathered enough strength and explained to my daughter that energy never dies and that death is just an illusion. And we started from there. We started our journey there.
Okay, well, I'm going to go into our first clip. Like I told you, that we play clips on the show just as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get into our first clip. And you don't have to put mute or anything. It'll mute you on its own. Here we go.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Looking for the person who murdered a former star high school athlete tonight. His classmates remembered him. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is live from Paulding County School, where that victim just graduated this year. And Taisha, you spoke to his mother today.
Laurie, she is a strong woman, and as you can imagine, she was extremely emotional today, but she was still able to speak to hundreds of students inside this gym. Her words were so powerful, she had nearly every person in there in tears.
Son was great. He is great, and I was robbed.
It's only been 2 days since this mother got the worst news she's ever heard. Her teenage son, Tommy Lee Robinson, who had just graduated from Paulding County High School this year, was murdered. His friends, former classmates, coaches, and teachers honored Robinson at a vigil Sunday evening.
I have a whole community behind me that says how good my baby was.
Even though Robinson graduated a few months ago, his former principal wanted to memorialize him here.
This is the last thing any mother wants to do. You see it over and over again, and you always hope to God that it's not you.
Police are still trying to figure out who shot Robinson, but his friends say the murderer is a PC high school dropout who got into some sort of altercation with Robinson after a football game Friday night.
I don't know if it was an accident or not, but you did it, so you need to own up to it. Like, we know who you are.
The victim's mother begged students not to retaliate and not to take the law into their own hands. She told them to respect themselves, respect each other, and to make the most out of their lives. She said justice is coming to the person who killed her son.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
According to police, another young man was shot during the same incident on Friday night. He is expected to be okay. As far as everyone who knew Tommy Lee Robinson, number 21 on the football team, number 2 on the basketball team, it's going to take a while for them to work through their grief. We're live here in Paulding County. Taisha Fernandez.
All right, we are back. Let me say this. Ray, you can't hear me? They can't hear me. Okay, come down and come back up again. All right, y'all. They're gonna come down. They're going to come back up again because they can't hear me. While they're doing that, we're going to go ahead and go into a quick music video. For those that don't know, I like music. Jason like music too.
Love it.
Over there on TikTok. You know, he like, let's see if they can hear us because I seen them moving. Can you hear us now? Okay. You're going to come down and come back up. Okay. So let me go ahead and kick them out of the studio. They're going to come back up. Jason, let them know where they can find you at before I play this video.
You know, so if you guys are looking for any type of new
Besides
music,
on Peachy Tea Time.
right, besides being here, any type of new music from any independent artist that is on the up and coming, you can find me on TikTok at CTV Radio. That's CTV Radio. Catch This Vibe Radio. We go live just about every other night or every night, playing nothing but new, refresh, just amazing, refreshing, I should say, independent music, and it's all top tier, really good music, R&B, hip hop, and we dabble in other genres as well.
Exactly. And I show independent artists on Saturdays. Saturdays only. The week is dedicated to crime in our community. So only on Saturdays. Y'all come on, get exposure, get an interview. Please hit me up. If you know somebody, tag them right now. Let them know you gone Peachy Time Girl on Roku TV. Boy, girl, whichever. Business owner, celebrity artists, actors, whoever. Bring them on. So right now, Jason, we finna show your boy. Your peoples. You brought this boy to me. Mr. Diano. Mama, please don't cry. Perfect for the occasion. Mama, please don't cry by Diano. Run his numbers up. Here we go.
Mama, please don't cry. We gonna be alright. We gonna be alright. I told my mama we gon' be straight, please don't cry. Your son, he gon' make it, he ain't stopping till he shine. I been fall up on my ass, so the I will never die. I know that you don't feel my pain, but you can see it in my eyes. My only other mother flying high in the sky. She left this world too early, that made me die inside. I feel her all around me, so I know she by my side. I know that God got a new angel right by his side. My feelings locked up, I threw the key away. Just so you don't slam me up in my bag and need that. I told my brothers we gon' be straight, we gon' be great. Beating all us, all these niggas do is fucking hate. I had to go a different route so I can make a way. Make sure my family straight, I had to find a way. But I gotta watch my back, I don't trust anyone. It be the closest one that's gonna get gone. And I know you don't know my pain, know my story. Know that I'm a sinner praying to the Lord above me. Can he keep my sanity? It may be the death of me. Hitting on my social, I don't need nothing distracting me. Always making songs, cause this shit be my therapy. I know I won't love, but it's something I don't need. Cause if it's time I give it out, I don't get back a thing. Mama, please don't cry, we gon' be alright. I've been staying up late, cause I can never waste no time. Writing all these lyrics, I've been putting in over time. I'm stuck in the unknown, I've been trying to find a lie. When I'm up, y'all gon' notice my grind. Getting my life, like remember those times. Sorry, not sorry, but I'm on a different time. Now I care about my heart and I care about my mind. They keep texting on my phone, asking how I'm feeling. I've been chillin' right for the stars and the ceiling. Investing all my money, I've been trying to get these riches. Hoping I can find my soul. Hoping you don't leave me alone. Hoping I stay up on the road. Whoa. I'm flying across the world, Wishing you was with me. Motivation going down, so I hope that you can feel me. I don't give no fuck about no haters on my back straight. I just want my parents in the hill so they can realize and they can kick back. And I'm praying to Allah, hoping I get that. I don't want them in no pain no more. But that glass can be half empty, half full. No, mama, please don't cry. We gon' be alright. Staying up late, cause I can never waste no time. Writing all these lyrics, I've been putting in over time. I'm stuck in the unknown, I've been trying to find a lie. When I'm up, y'all gon' notice my grind. Getting my life, I remember those times. Sorry, not sorry, but I'm on a different time. Now I care about my heart and I care about my mind.
Hey y'all, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Thank y'all so much for joining me and Jason tonight. Thank you. And if we got a special guest, thank you, special guest. I thank you for coming, sharing your story. But y'all make sure y'all watch us each and every Wednesday, okay? Each and every Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Where you said? You said where? Roku TV, Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitch, baby. Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, PGT Time spelled with a Y. And make sure you also follow me on all the other platforms just as well. Thank you so much for joining us each and every Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Back to the show we go, baby. We going back. Bye. All right, we are back. Look at Gary. Gary like, oh shit, they back. Yes, Gary, we are back. All right, so let's dive on into what happened. Let's start with you, Ray. Let us know what occurred on that day that you are aware of. Let's make that clear.
Basically, as we knew it that night, the guy that shot him lured him over, not just him and a car full of other guys. Because remember, Gary told you the friends called. So it was a car full of kids. And they had went over to where the guy was. Now, the first time they went over there, because they went, to my knowledge, they went over there twice. When they went over there, they lured them over saying, oh, we got some weed. And so supposedly they were going to smoke, or somebody in the car was going to get some weed. Then the second time there was a girl in the car, and she was saying that the guy owed her $20. And she was adamant that they go back and get the $20. And I didn't understand that at all. I didn't. But nevertheless, the hero they go back over there, and one of the guys knock on the door, and they're at a mutual person's house. It's not their house. They're next door. These guys are next door to where they used to live, because apparently their mother had to move because somebody shot their house up because of a previous incident. So they were back in the neighborhood next door, causing havoc again, and they lured them over there. When the friend got out and went to the door, they didn't come out. And as the kids were going back to the car, he shot out of a second story window, like the split level homes and how you have the window. He shot out that window. Yeah. They were retreating. They were all unarmed, and the bullets flew through the car, and it hit our son through the heart, and it was fatal, of course. So as the story began to unfold, we, our kids, all of our kids, talk to us. So whenever there's a problem, we know with who. Okay. And he said that there was an issue. And I told him, I said, look, stop fighting. I know you're an admirable person. You know, I know it took you a while to get your little size and you want to let people know you're tough, you know, but these days they're not fighting. They're shooting. And you don't have a gun. So walk away. I told him that. And I asked him, I said, listen, well, do you need me to go and file any kind of police report? Because he said he ran into the guy at the store. And at this point, I didn't know how serious it was, but I did ask him, do you want me to report it or what's going on? And I still remember he was sitting kind of slouched down and he was like, you know, kind of. So he was nonchalant with it, so I didn't worry about it. You know, being a mother of boys, you kind of go through these things, you know, and normally dad takes care of it. So you just kind of go on. And that's what I did. And we went to, you know, after everything happened, we ended up at a vigil. They held a vigil at the high school. And my mom says that a little girl was yelling. I told him. And I didn't understand what that meant, what she meant by that. And later on, it was found that she was the ex-girlfriend of the murderer. And he had let her know that because of the fight that he picked with our son at the store, because he lost that fight, he was going to kill him. She said that when she said, I told him, she was trying to warn him that he said he was going to kill him. So they went to, I thought he was going to work, but they ended up at the football game. Because you see, he's a big football guy. And they were at the football game. And after the football game, that's when they lured him over. And that's, then that's when it happened.
Now they lured him over to a home. It was a home?
To a home. It was a home next door to where the murderers used to live. It's a set of brothers. They were both involved, but only one was charged and convicted.
Okay. So at this time, the case is closed. They found someone that they felt like committed the crime.
They found the one.
And that is the person that they was broadcasting on the news, correct?
Darnell Priester.
Okay. Are you okay with me showing him at this time?
I have no problem.
Okay. So this is Darnell, the guy that committed the crime. This is him. Do you feel like this is the guy? Or do you feel like it was him and others? Or do you feel like it was not him at all? It was somebody else? Because we all know in our community, the streets talk, baby. The streets talk. So do you feel like this was definitely the guy that did it? Or do you feel like it was maybe somebody else, or it was him and other people that need to be charged just as well?
You got to remember.
Or it was just somebody else?
You got to remember, I had a conversation with him.
With this guy that I just showed him.
They had a fight. Not him, with my son. And they had a fight. Him and my son had a fight. So I already knew there was something going on. But I'm never thinking it would result to this.
To this, right.
So as everything began to unfold while we were in the murder trial, basically, honestly, and I'm going to be real honest, the way it really looked to me, was as if those kids over on that side had a problem with the kids over on this side.
Absolutely.
And they picked with them. Like I told you before, you know, they don't know our financial situation. They just saw that it was some nice new houses being built. And then here we got these new Black kids coming over to the schools and in the areas that they are accustomed to, you know, being in. And they don't live over here and they don't live this way. So they begin to collide with the children over here. And that's a part of the streets talking. So that's how I got that portion of it, because the kids were telling us. And so back and forth. Oh, he think he's tough. Oh, he think he's a pretty boy. Oh, I can whoop him. And he tried it and he got mocked.
Yeah, he got mocked. Yeah,
he got mocked. And he couldn't take the L. You know.
Is that where TKO came from?
Keep in mind. I'll tell you that story.
Okay.
I'll tell you that story. Keep in mind, this guy towers. He towers over us and him. You understand what I'm saying?
He's a pretty big guy. He's a pretty big guy.
But he was younger. He was 2 years younger. So, you know, just think if he would have whooped the 18-year-old, what that would have did for his reputation. I whooped this nigga and I was older than him. I mean, he was older than me, you know? So that's how that went down. But he lost. And when he lost, you know, come on now. We ain't won them all. We know how that goes. You want to kill somebody, but he actually went through with it.
He actually went through with it.
You know, and to the involvement of other people, there were 2 other people in the home, in the room. In my opinion, should they have been charged with at least a party to a crime? Yes. Am I satisfied with the outcome, though, as far as the actual murder? Yes. Do I believe it was him that pulled the trigger? Yes. He got his behind whooped. He couldn't take it, and he had to retaliate. That's the way the story goes. It's the oldest story in the book.
Yep.
And this was who she's talking about, you all, is this gentleman right here. This gentleman right here. They got into a fight. He didn't get favored in the fight. We'll say that. He didn't get favored in the fight.
Molly Watt.
Right? He didn't get favored in the fight. Y'all got to understand. I've been talking to Ray. This is not my first time talking to Ray on PGC time. We've been talking. So, Ray,
I'm trying to keep it
clean. He was not favored.
Right. I'm keeping it a little clean because usually my mama go to bed around 6 p.m., but she on here.
What up, though, Ma?
Hey, Ma.
My mama's on here, so we trying to keep it a little classy, you know?
Yes, we are. Gary, I never talked to Gary, but Gary, I have talked to Ray several times. So I know what I'm dealing with tonight. Okay? I know what I'm dealing with tonight.
No, you didn't
Look,
tell me that.
I told Ray, I said, Ray, my show is explicit language, and you can say whatever you want to say on the show. But at the same time, Ray, that's what happened. That's what happened, Ray.
I didn't account
But
for
no.
no people on here.
I completely get it. I completely understand, boo. I do.
You know, I'm still governed respecting matters, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how we all look at it, you lost a child.
Yes.
A child that you birthed into this world, a child that you carried for 9 months. And then for somebody to come along, this young man, this young boy, he's not even going to get the title of man. This young boy comes along and take his life. baby, I feel your pain, not all the way to the fullest, because you have to go through what you went through to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So when it gets to that point where this is where you go through to where you understand, I'm right there. Like, I get it. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Gary, let us know, because we finna get into pretty soon, real soon. You know, I don't want to say the benefits, but the way God turned it around. I'll say that, to where you guys was able to come together and do things for the community in honor of your son. So we're going to get to that. But before we get to that, Gary, I got to come to you. The man, the king of this household, of Ray. I have talked to Ray several times. So to be in the midst of Ray when all of this is going on, like, how did you deal with this? With a mom that lost her child.
Let me, before you start, instead of say how did, but how are you dealing?
How are you? Yes, definitely. How are you dealing with this? I mean, you lost a son too, don't get me wrong.
You don't get through it. You don't deal with it. I know someone has to be strong for her. At her weakest moment, somebody has to be there so she can lean on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to make sure I stay strong at all times. Do I get weak? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. All of that. There's been moments I've been curled up on the floor by myself in the closet. Nobody knows. Do I let her see that? No. Do I explain it to her? No. Do I say anything to her about it? No. I want to make sure she knows that anytime she's going through whatever, from the smallest thing to, of course, losing the child, she got a rock she can lean on. So I don't deal with it. Have I mourned about it? No. I just make sure I'm here for her, his brothers, and his sisters. And that's all I can do.
I hear that.
Exactly.
The most important thing I feel like came out of what happened to him is, if we had the strength to keep it pushing after that, then whatever comes our way in life, we got to be strong enough to handle it. And we turn a tragedy into triumph is what we did.
Exactly.
Gary
Now,
just pleaded the fifth on y'all.
What'd you say?
I said Gary just pleaded the fifth on y'all.
Right? He 100%. You know what I mean? I noticed it. I'm glad you said that, Ray, but he 100%.
Let me tell you something about my husband.
Tell it, girl. Tell it.
What I know, he grieves, but for a man not to be able to protect his son, for a man who come from the streets and is really about that life, okay, about that life, and could show you better than he could tell you, and then this happens on his watch, there's a hole right there that there's an itch that needs to be scratched. You understand? And that's why you heard me saying TikTok. I needed the public to know. I told them out of my own mouth, if y'all can't catch him, he will. Period. Period. After the fact, yeah, it's gonna be, feelings and emotions and things that, we individualize and keep to ourselves. But as a man, he better be thankful he was caught.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As a father, that the best place for him was the Paulding County Jail. Period.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% on that. Sometimes I feel like when people do such a heinous crime and they go to prison, or well, not prison, I'm not gonna say prison, but they go to jail, they get a bond, their family members come back and get them, pay for them to get out, and they get out. Either they go and create another heinous crime, even worse, or somebody from the streets get them. And sometimes I sit back and I be like, dang, is the white folks setting us up? Because it's like, hold on. Because I be like, I know they know that these folks got family. I know they know that these folks love them.
We're setting ourselves up because we're setting ourselves up with the lie. You know who this child is. You know what, that's like when the school calls me and says, hey, your child is doing this. I know if he's doing it or if he's not. You can't be in denial about that when we're talking about a crime. So the minute you go and bail him out or bond him out, you're responsible.
Yep.
Because you were led with the lie. That ain't love. That's a lie. Why would you bond him out? And in his case, you had 2 kids in the room. Not 1, but 2. And it was being said with the streets talking, all that it wasn't him. It was the other brother. I don't care which one it was. You had 2 boys in the room.
One did the shooting and one tried to help clean up the crime scene.
So what does that say about you? You picked them up. The mother picked them up. Let's talk about that before we even get to a bond hearing. The mother picked them up from the crime scene.
From the crime scene,
One of Jason's favorite sayings on Peachy Tea Time, I must say, is that we know you're watching.
we see you. We see you. The number shows. We know you watching. Your people.
The thing is this. It don't matter when it happened. If you are involved in some way, shape, or form, not just in this case, but in other cases, if you know something, you involved in it, you was just wandering around, but you done saw something, baby, it gonna come back up. It's gonna come back up. No matter how long it is, it's gonna come back up. And you got to face it. You got to face it. Baby, the numbers is looking good tonight. So I know somebody's watching right now. As Jason says, they be watching. When them flyers go up, when it's time to post them flyers, people be like, oh shit, it's back. It's coming back alive. If you know, I always say it, if you know something, say something.
Absolutely.
If other people was involved, and not just this young man that we have shown, if other people was involved and you know something, say something. Because, baby, you best believe this happened in 2017. You best believe they ain't living a good life right now in 2023.
Oh, we can guarantee it.
Baby.
We keep tabs.
Baby, if you sitting up here trying to figure out why his life going like this, because he didn't do right.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do right. He knows something. He did something. She did something. Whoever.
Oh, they don't get away. I mean, both of them are involved. Let me just say this: the third guy, he did become a witness for the prosecution because he did sign over. He signed a statement against him. But they granted him muse immunity, and when they granted him that muse immunity, he got up on the stand and he lied. He couldn't face because just think about how the court is set up.
He attempted to plead the fifth.
What is muse? For those that don't know, Ray and Gary, what does muse immunity means? What does it mean?
You have full immunity and you got muse immunity. Full immunity is where, in exchange for your testimony or your plea or whatever, hey, I can't come back and arrest you. You're, completely exonerated. Muse immunity is where you can come back and be charged.
Mm.
So he was already locked up at the time for something else, and so he was trying to get out. But what they did, they played the oldest trick on unintelligent people, and they cracked. Well, he cracked, before it even got started. So he was ready to sing to let everybody know, hey, I didn't have anything to do with that. Because of fear of the guy, he lost it on the stand. He couldn't stand his ground. But it was still a signed statement that was documentation, beats conversation any day. Yeah. So he had already signed this statement, and that's what they went with, and today this guy is still in the world of trouble, we hear.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from what you know, from what you hear out on the streets, because that's all we can go by at this point. From what you hear out on the streets, how many people do you feel should have been arrested and charged for your son's murder? Do you feel it should be just that one boy?
I'm going to start everything out with allegedly.
Allegedly.
3 people should be arrested for that crime. I just only because I know I've seen cases over and over and over again. You could just be driving a person to the store, not even knowing that they going in and rob the store. And now they done robbed the store. Next thing you know, you like, man, what y'all done did? The police done got them, but you now you got to go to jail for the rest of your life, and you didn't even know dude was getting ready to go and do that.
Yep.
I've seen that over and over again.
Yep,
so I don't
we all have.
For me, I didn't understand how you could be in the actual room with a person who pulled a trigger. You did not call the police. You knew it happened. You didn't call for help. You called your mother.
Everybody ran.
Everybody else ran.
Everybody took off running.
Yeah. There was an elderly lady in the house.
Damn.
The little guy that lived in the house testified and said, I came to the door and I saw him and his brother on their hands and knees. It looked like they were trying to pick something up off the floor. And those were the bullet shells. They was trying to pick the bullet shells. They didn't find no shells in the room except the one that was actually in the window sill. Because they picked the ones up off the floor, but they shut the window so fast, they didn't know they left one of the shells inside the window sill. So if the people who live in the house say, I see the two brothers on the floor picking up things, then how the other brother walk out scot-free without being charged, I don't know. He helped clean up the crime scene, if not anything else.
So now you're accessory to murder.
That part. Yep.
And attempted murder, you know, but
Because they got somebody, they done.
you know what? It's like this.
Why the mama didn't get charged with harboring a fugitive?
Something.
She came and picked them up.
Exactly.
You know, they told us from the beginning, hey, we gave her a call and told her to bring her kids over. He said, and if I call you and I tell you to bring your boys over, what's the first thing you gonna say? I'm gonna say, for what? They was like, exactly. She brought them right over. Didn't even ask no questions. So, you know, there's a lot of people, in my opinion, that's responsible. Did they pull the trigger? No, but they're responsible. Could they have saved these children? Because there was another friend that got shot. He got shot in the leg. You know,
wow.
It was just ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to be the parent that blames the police department saying they didn't do their job or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I'm grateful that they got somebody. So myself or my husband are walking free right now. Okay. I'm thankful and grateful for that, because we both made promises when we had all of our children. We made a silent pact with God to protect.
Yeah.
And when we were not able to do that due to what the law says we can and can't do, you know, that's an interference to me with the circle of life. And as long as they got the person that we know to be the actual shooter, we can deal with that.
I know. I think I heard, I forgot what song it was, but Pac said, you touch one of mine on everything I own, I destroy everything you touch. You play the game, nigga. So it just constantly repeats over and over and over and over again. It actually happened though. You know, it actually happened.
As a father, Gary, you know, like Ray said, a father from the streets. You see what I'm saying? How did you deal with this? How did you deal with it without retaliation? This is a little kid to you. This is a little kid. I know you want to go and hurt this little boy.
In one sense, like it really don't make no difference. Like,
exactly.
Child, man, woman, child. It doesn't matter. If my child, if I don't know, it's just my kid. Don't touch my kid. You know, I'm not gonna touch yours. I'm not gonna harm anybody else's kids. So, in my mind, it's like it wasn't that serious. I'm from a place where it gets that serious. Like when you wake up, it's that serious. You know, brushing your teeth is that serious. But we're in Powder County, like really nothing's that serious in Powder, you know. So for that to happen, it's like now I'm almost questioning the whole Powder County. Like, do y'all really want me to show y'all who I am? Like, is y'all I transform myself from this person to this person, and now I'm an upstanding citizen. I pay my dues for whatever I've done. So is this what I get from that? You know, so
no justice.
Right.
There's no real justice.
So the police, the detectives, they didn't do their job from what you feel?
I actually they did that. Let me say this. They did a thorough job. They did.
Okay.
But they failed at completing the task. They had all the information they needed. They just played the game.
Yeah,
we give you this when you give us that one.
Yeah, the whole system is a game, and they have to follow that.
You know, they did a thorough investigation. I can say that, but they didn't follow it and complete it all the way through. They pick and chose exactly what they wanted.
And they did explain it's because they didn't want to lose, you know, solely having a conviction for him by adding these other factors in when one had already turned against the other.
Yeah, and it was explained to us as like, we don't want to shift the focus from this guy to that guy. We need to make sure we at least get this guy, even if it means letting these guys go. We need to make sure we get this one.
Which is the shooter.
Correct.
Which is the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for us, it'll never be the way we wanted it. You know, I say this analogy all the time. In the wild, the other animals know, and so do we as human beings. You don't mess with a bird's cubs.
Yeah.
We all see what happens when you go near those cubs. Okay? Is anybody saying, lock her up? No, they saying, just stay away from her kids, her cubs.
That part,
She's gonna
yeah.
kill you. You understand what I'm saying? The justice to me takes that right away from me. My right to protect. Now, my thing is this. Do I think these other people are responsible? No, I don't think they were responsible. I think he's responsible. And then if I further trace responsibility, it will go back to his mother.
Okay.
That's where I shift most of my blame. But again, in court, you cannot do that. You can't start talking about family issues in the middle of the murder trial, because then that gives him a out.
True.
Oh yeah, I was raised that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's truly understandable. I get it. My next question. You know, we've gotten into all of that. But you've turned this into a good. You know, you didn't slumber and drown yourself in your tears. You made something out of this.
Mm-hmm.
You did your thing. You did your thing. So I want to show this clip first before we even get into it. I want to show this clip first, and then we'll go ahead and we'll talk about how you have changed the community, how you have taken the bad and turned it into a good. Here we go.
Thank you guys for coming. We're going to keep doing what we do, not just for Tommy, okay, but for all of you. Long live TKO. We turn our pain into a passion, and then that passion turned into a purpose, and the purpose turned into a brand, and that's TKO.
All you put those hands together, go ahead and stand to your feet, because at this time I'll be introducing you guys to honor, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring to the floor. Go ahead and stand up on your feet and put those hands together. The people that made all of this in this room happen today, I want you to give them some love, give them some love, give them some love, give them some love. That's right, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the TKO brothers. Mr. Gary TKO Lee, and this is Belinda Ray TKO Lee.
our first TKO Rising Star. Y'all give it up for Devin and Deanna. Oftentimes in life, a gun is introduced through severe, a coward fighting a fear, projected emotions showing us scared. You must feel you don't deserve life to take another. You must be afraid to lose a fight to the murder.
This time we'd like to have a small moment of silence to honor the lives of those that have gone on.
I stand in solidarity with these women and other women around America who have lost their children. It is not a club that any one of us want to be a part of, but it has happened. So you can make a choice. You can allow it to take you out, or you can figure out what you want to do for the rest of your time here. And I just hope that the rest of your, if you choose to continue on, the rest of your time here is to make someone else great.
Hey, shout out to TKO, man. Rest in peace to him. You see, we out here for his day playing basketball. Shout out to all these guys that came out here. Shout out to the man behind the camera. Y'all stay tuned.
All right. Baby, tell us about the TKO Ball and Banquet. Something that you and your husband put together in memory of your son, TKO. Let us know what's going on, baby.
So that space comes from a dream we both had. As we said before, you know, it's from the hood. We were not getting invited out to any important events where we can look our best and, you know, go places other than church.
Players Ball. We did have the annual Players Ball. Now I got the.
And Gary, tell me if I'm wrong, but you're from Detroit?
No,
He's
Louisville,
from
Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Both of y'all from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're from the same hood. We grew up in the same hood. This is my childhood girlfriend.
Let's go. Love it. Love it.
Do it. Let's do it. Now, I already told Ray that y'all got to come back. Y'all got to come back for me and my husband. We have couples loving relationships on Fridays. So I told Ray I would love to have y'all on with me and my husband on Friday. Not this Friday, but we're going to schedule it in so y'all can come back and we're going to have a great, great, great time. Okay. I want to make sure I threw that out there. But TKO Ball and Banquet, that's big.
Wonderful. I mean, you guys look absolutely amazing by the way as well.
Baby, they was fly. They was fly. Yes, they was absolutely fly.
Look, once I see my man in the two-tone sequence, I say, you know what? This is my flavor over here. I'm coming through for one of the next ones. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for Sunday. I can't. Shout out to Sunday. Shout out to Sunday and Saturday. Shout out to Sunday and Saturday. I'll be in the building both days. But how long have you been doing this?
This is our second annual ball and banquet because we were shut down the first year for COVID. And, you know, it was something that just kept tugging at us. And we were like, we got to do it. And we did it. And, you know, we just knew that if we were feeling that way, it had to be other people feeling that way. You know, also with these children, we want to create a space for Black excellence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What that looks like later on down the line, as far as how we start digging into the community and recognizing, you know, what's going on, we don't really know, but we wanted to not procrastinate on that, get started and go. The beginnings is at least, you know, this is a space you can look good and Black people gonna be here represented.
Absolutely.
You know, we see all the other awards, BET Awards, and
What I tell you,
country
bitch.
music.
You said it.
Awards, and, you know, it's our time. You know, let's reach down to the people who watch the award shows. Let them get awards. Also, you know, these people are important too. Maybe not in that field, but in another field, they are important.
We're so grateful to our son's friends, you know, not just the kids who got him to the hospital, but also the children that come back and participate. You know, they check on us still, call us, come by from time to time when it's time for, you know, when it's time for this banquet. I can always depend on Desiree Martin. Basketball's her passion. And, you know, grew up in the neighborhood. She's our friend's daughter. But I can always count on her to help to organize this thing and head it up. So when I get to the park, I hand it over to Desiree and she take care of it. And that was a bond formed from the love of our son. You know, we just appreciate that, and we want to create a space that for generations to come, these little children of theirs have a place. Oh, I want to go. I want to, you know, they want to be a part of it. Something positive. We got tons of negative stuff. It's time for us to end that.
Now, is this the Desiree that we see on the screen right now? Desiree Martin.
Yeah.
That's her?
Gary.
Okay. Being that that's her, shout out to Desiree. Shout out to Desiree. Shout out to you, Desiree, girl. You doing your thing, baby. You doing your thing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting. Not only support this family, continue, Desiree, to support other families just as well that's going through the same thing that this family is going through.
A lot of community work.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I want to get into this next clip. This is TK. I name my own clips, okay? It ain't my own clips. This one is called TKO Ball and Banquet number 2. Number 2. Here we go.
Welcome to the 4th annual TKO Day.
Hey, Gabby. Let me hear your mouth again.
I am thankful. I am grateful. The name TKO comes from my son. His name was Thomas, and he earned the nickname TKO. We have taken that name and we have built it into a brand that represents awareness for senseless gun violence, a brand that represents genuine love and support and unity in our community. We felt like taking the name and using it as a brand was a way to keep his memory and his legacy alive. Today, we're here in Douglasville at the Jesse Davis Park. It's our 4th annual TKO Day. That's what we call it. This is a place that we provide for the parents to come out to recognize the children who have lost their lives in senseless gun violence. We also recognize the siblings, somebody who may be in need in the community. Today, we recognize the single mother by the name of Candace, and we helped her out. If we can have you come up, please. They were referred to us by Coach K. Coach K did the training for our son, Thomas. So when she told me her son's name was Thomas, I was just blown away. I thought this had to be the universe. I wanted to make sure that you knew that I understood and that anything that I could do to help this young man and you, I would. So on behalf of TKO World Foundation, I want to present you with a little token here. Thank you so much. And we want to present your Thomas with a little token here. We are so thankful and grateful for all the sponsors. American Eagle Mortgage, Regal Realty, Paul Kids from down at Grove Park, Miss Latanya Gates, Mirror 90. Thank you to all of my son's friends. Even though he is not walking on this physical earth, they still show up every year to support him. This year we launched the first TKO basketball tournament. This will be something we do every single year. When I say ball and banquet, I don't just necessarily, when I say ball, I don't mean like the ball, I mean ball, baby. Banquet is where we're going to wear our dresses and suits and all that stuff. But when we ball, we're going to ball on this court. This is every year from here on out.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday. I cannot wait for Saturday. But I got to ask this question. First of all, what you're doing for the community is awesome. It's just totally, totally awesome. I applaud y'all. Let me hit the applaud button. Yes, I applaud y'all. What y'all is doing just awesome. But on here on PGT Time, we keep it 100 and we dig down deep. So my question to you, both of you, mother and father, how is it, I gotta ask, how is it that you both has lost your son to gun violence, but you're still able to bless others? God looking down on y'all, and y'all gonna reap the benefits. We all know that. It's a given. But how is it that y'all can hold y'all composure and still bless others in this process? That y'all done lost y'all child that's not coming back. Y'all know this. He's not coming back. But how is it that y'all can sit here, bless others, put smiles on these kids' faces, knowing that some devil out there has taken y'all child away? I know that's a hard question. It's there. But I got to ask. How is this possible?
You know,
Take your time, Gary. Take your time.
It's gonna sound funny, but you know how they say if you can't beat them, join them.
Yes.
It's kind of like one of them things. You know, I can't correct every criminal out there or every person that has killed anybody's child, but if I can catch the ones this left that ain't crossed that threshold yet, and show them something, a way, just a better way in life, maybe I can save my neighbor's child from getting shot by this kid.
Ooh, you're giving me chills. You're giving me chills.
Yeah, you know, so I feel like I'm honoring. That's the best way I can honor my child is dig down in the youth and help guide them in a proper direction. So just maybe we won't have that incident happen again. You know, that's what keeps me going. I feel like, and also giving those kids things that I didn't have. I didn't have no one showing me how to fish, so to say. You know, I had to learn that on my own. So learning it on my own led to me running the streets and running into guys just like the guy that murdered my own son. You know, so
how can you make a difference?
And that's how I feel I can make a difference.
Yeah. For me, like I explained to you earlier, it took the death of our son for me to realize that I wasn't living at all.
You said that. You told me that earlier.
I was already dying. I had a routine. Wake up, get ready for work, traffic, go to work, come home, do it all over again. That's not living. And when this happened to me, there was something inside of me that said, get over yourself. You're going to die too. So you can either die right now or get busy living. So I reached inside of me and I start pulling out everything I had. When I say TKO is a brand, that's exactly what it is. It's not just a nonprofit organization that has children out for a basketball game or black tie gala. We started a property restoration business. He has so much, he knows so much. I know so much. Why should it die with us? So in starting the property restoration company, there lies a platform for him to teach a child a skill. I was already feeling like I hated my job. So how long was I going to keep saying I hate my job? Feeling like a bird with clipped wings in a cage. Or let me rephrase that. Feeling like a bird that can fly, but I've been caged. I know I didn't belong in a cage. So what I needed to do was find my way out. And this was an outlet for the both of us. This was a way for us to begin to create. And through our creativity was life. Now we got life. And now when you feel like you're living, you have purpose.
Purpose.
And our purpose is to serve. It's to serve others. You know, I traced the steps back when this did happen. What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? You know, and I saw people getting murdered all the time on the news. Did I reach out? No. Did I go help a child? No.
Girl, you better say it.
Did I go do any of that?
You better say
I
it.
didn't do any of that. So now my heart is open, my organization is open, and I just, whatever I didn't give, I'm giving it now.
Yeah. And that's, we try to express to people how important it is not to wait until it hits
tragedy.
home.
Exactly.
Stop waiting until it hits home.
Say it.
Dig in now with us in the trenches, with the people who know what it feels like for real.
Because you know what we have now? Now it's gotten so bad to where you're literally waiting to see who's next.
Yeah.
You're waiting to see who's gonna be next. You know, and some of us are still living under that dark cloud of it can't happen to us. Well, like the first thing you asked, was our son in gang activity? No. You see, I didn't have a horrific story to tell you. He wasn't out packing guns. He wasn't making a drug transaction. It was none of that. I have no, big deal story to tell.
The guy was a high school job. I mean,
he was a high school
job.
Sports guy that was murdered on the day he was accepted into college.
If you notice every picture you see of him, he has on something Paulding County High School or something. Yeah. That's how he lived for school.
Yeah.
That's it. Sports and school.
You know, his friends have gone on to NFL careers, and so on and so forth. So that's what he had on his mind. Nothing else. Exactly. Was he perfect? Was he a saint? Of course not. Because I'm not. He's not. But can you tell where his heart was? Absolutely, you could. You know the good from the bad. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. Well, with that being said, because we are coming to the end of the show,
I didn't get to tell you where TKO came from.
Yes. Where the hell did TKO come from? Where did it come from, girl? Look, so, Gary, like, her ass crazy.
So when we first moved to this neighborhood, he was still really small. And he didn't get his growth spurt, as everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going to be real honest. Some of the same guys that, he called his best friends today, they were a problem. And they were out fighting, trying to figure their way out. And they would try to stick other people on them. And he had gotten a little bit bigger by this time. And I said, listen, I'm going to go look at these cars at the car lot. I'll be back. And they was up at the park. And I came back. And I seen a crowd of people. I said, oh, damn, what's wrong? I hope it ain't my kids. Oh, my God. So I get over there. And I see these crowd. And lo and behold, I see this little guy on the ground. I'm like, damn, what happened to him? And they was like, oh, they was fighting. But I'm like, y'all got to call the ambulance. Get him up. I'm like, hey, get up. Can you follow my hand? He would not come to. Okay. Finally, they got him up. They would not call 911. And they put him in the back of the truck. And he sat up. I said, listen, can you follow my hand? He was seeing birds. So, next thing you know it, here come my son busting through the crowd. You shouldn't have. Well, he shouldn't have. I said, damn.
It was mad.
But see, we always think it's our kids that's gonna get hurt. We don't never think it was our kids being the aggressor or whatever in the situation. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there was a little kid out there. He videotaped the whole thing. He was like, "Wait a minute, Miss Ray, don't get on it. It wasn't his fault." And he showed me the tape. And on the tape, the guy kept on nudging at him. Yeah, you gonna give me my ones? That's what they call it. You gonna give me my ones? And he was like, man, go on. I ain't trying to fight or whatever. Next thing you know, it kept doing it. He went on and got up and was like, let's go. They get in the parking lot. The guy make a swing and miss. That was TKO's turn. Bloop, knocked him out cold. And TKO was born.
That's when it was born.
That's how that went.
Wow.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you something else. That same little boy that he knocked out, that was the second person that on that guy's hit list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the second guy. That was the second guy on the hit list.
It's funny. She told y'all a story about the fight at the park. I was I'm a master barber, so I was working at a barbershop at the time, and the guys at the barbershop had not yet saw my son. So he had called, was like, "Dad, I need a haircut." So I'm like, "All right, come up to the barbershop and I got you." So he comes up to the barbershop, he opens the door. When he opens the door, everybody in the barbershop's like, "That's your son, that's your son." So I'm like, "Yeah, y'all know my son, where I know him from." "Oh, that's the little nigga that was on the video. He knocked dude out at the park. It went viral." I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." It was crazy.
Wow.
That's how I found out about the video.
Wow. Jason, is there anything you want to say before we go into our tribute?
No, you know what? I mean, yes and no, right? So
he always he always say no first, and then he got this long paragraph next. If you ain't he like no.
Right, like yes and no. What I love, man, first and foremost, right off the bat, is the light and sincerity that you guys have, not only for your family but for each other. You know what I mean? Like, I love the way you two piggyback off of each other and show nothing but resilience even in the toughest times. Looking at these videos, and especially looking at TKO Day, I love how you, like someone said in the chat, bringing pain to passion, right? And for what you guys are doing for the community, but not only that, representing your family and making his name live long. Because just even looking at these pictures, you're going to see that he was going to either do something similar, you know, he was going to be a part of the community, but not only that, show out in a very good way. You know what I mean? And the fact that you guys bring life and love to his name every single year, every single time, with events and things of this nature that the community can flourish in, shows a lot. So one thing I will say is continue to do that, which I know you guys will, but you know, and I heard it, like you said, what will happen with this in the future, we don't know yet. Touch the people in the community more. Get those kids, like you were saying, Gary, bring those children in as much as you can. Talk to them one by one and show that they have someone to lean on. Because what I'm hearing, while this young man did something so tragic, there was something also missing in him, right? Because if there was a man in his life to tell him, like, it's okay to lose, you will win, right? He didn't know that it was okay to lose, right? I think you might have taught your son enough of saying, like, it's cool to lose. You're going to lose. He's in sports, so he knows about loss. He's been on teams that he's lost and he wanted to win back. So he knows and understands, like, all right, well, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. And I can still go live a more fulfilled life. Or I'm going to win the next time. You know what I'm saying? Someone told that kid that committed this crime that you're not going to win again. Like, you're lost. You're scum. So, you know, you're not going to be worth it later on in life. Shit like that. So he had nothing to lose. So continue to bring that life and love, man. And Gary, my heart goes out to you, bro. Like, speaking and hearing how you spoke about, like, you know, holding everything in. Find something. Find a space. I know you're one of those classic alphas. Like, nothing's gonna break, nothing's gonna bend, and I'm gonna be here and be the backbone to this family. But remember, you still need something to lean on as well. And I know that it might not be a person, so make sure that God is that space to go to. I'm not gonna say too much on it because you the man that I'm looking to. Like, I felt something when I heard you speak on how you rode for yourself. But you know what I mean, make sure you got that outlet. And if it ain't no one, make sure it's God. You hear me?
Yes. All right. Well, we are about to go into our tribute. For those that have never been on the show. Oh, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I had to say one last thing.
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
This guy did have his father in his life.
Oh wow.
And when you hear about Paulding County, it's deemed as a country place. Okay. And I pointed these things out because I solely believe that he just romanticized with the gangster lifestyle just to fit in some way, somehow, you know, and started to imitate what he was hearing in music. Yeah, he comes from a two-parent household. Let me just say that.
That's crazy.
You know, but that again, it goes to show you can come from a two-parent household that's empty.
Wow. That's empty. Exactly. No one's still speaking life into that child. You feel me? Yep. Everybody's going and everybody's leaving. And wow, that's whew.
Yeah, we really gotta, you know, teach these kids like we were taught back in the day. It's a two-way street. Dead or in jail.
Dead or in jail, absolutely.
And that's what we heard. We heard that a lot growing up in our era. There's only two places for you to go.
Yeah.
Jail or 6 feet under.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of parents is not telling their kids that nowadays.
Nope.
They're not.
Nope.
So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get into our tribute. Our tribute to TKO, baby. Also, I must say, this is for the parents just as well. We love you guys so much. We love you. I can't wait. I cannot wait for Saturday and Sunday. We're still going to come back after the tribute. We're going to talk a little bit more. But this is towards the end of the show. But I want everybody to know the reason why I do these tributes for the families. I do these tributes for 2 reasons. One, so that the families can have this. It's like a gift from PGT Time to them. And second, for those out there, listen to me closely. For those out there that is like what Jason is saying, you watching, this is for you. I want you to feel bad. I do. I want you to cry. I want you to go to sleep tonight and be like, Lord, why did I hold this? Why didn't I say something? Lord, he told me this when we was getting ready to go to bed at night. Pillow talking. And you just feel in your heart that you got to say something. That's why I make these videos. They're tribute. So, with that being said, shout out to Tommy TKO Lee, baby. This one's for you. We know you shining down on your parents right now. We know you shining down on your siblings right now. We know you shining down on your family right now. We know you shining down on your friends right now. Baby, this for your parents right here. Here we go.
All I hear is raindrops falling from the rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you. I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And I officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah. And I'm officially missing you.
Yes, 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 yes. All y'all bastards out there right now feeling bad. All y'all like, what am I gonna do? Should I say something? Should I not? Say something. Say something. It was more people in them cars. Say something. Don't let the devil take you out. Let God be the vessel and tell you what to do. And right now he's telling you to go say something. You know, go on ahead, go to sleep. Remember this video in your sleep. Wake up the next morning. Think about this video because that's what's going to happen until you say something. If you are watching right now and you know something, baby, I advise you to say something. Because if not, that video finna replay and replay and replay and replay in your brain. Do you hear me? Jason, I don't think they hear me. Do they hear me?
Man, I don't know if they do or not, man. But nice thing is, you know what I'm saying, the other people, right? Like we were saying earlier, and Ray said it, is that those other people need to get convicted at the end of the day. Because you was in the room, you didn't help someone escape a crime scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's due justice. They don't need to go nowhere. They don't need to really find them. Nobody needs to say nothing. They just need to do processing. So, you know what I mean? Let that shit happen the way it's supposed to fall. Let the cards fall the way they may. You know? Because at the end of the day, y'all was in there too. So, you know.
Yep. Yep. And unfortunately, y'all got to be convicted too. Why do y'all got to be convicted? I'll tell you why. Jason, let me pull you down for a second so I can tell them why. Let me tell you why you need to be convicted. Okay? It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But I'm finna tell you why. Because, and this is as real as it's gonna get, you would never hear another person tell you what I'm finna tell you right now. And I don't give a damn. The reason why is because your mama and your daddy didn't teach you how to be a leader instead of a follower. They already got the person that shot. They already got the person that did it. But because you decided to be a follower and not a leader, you decided to not betray. And boys in the hood, if you watch my show, you know I use this a lot as an example. You didn't decide to betray and tell them, let me out the car. Let me out the car. I can't do this. My daddy gonna kick my ass. You decided not to do that. So because you decided not to be like Trey and boys in the hood, guess what? You're gonna get caught. You done told somebody. And that somebody is watching PGT Time tonight. And they're gonna go to bed. And they're gonna think about that video. And they're gonna say, oh my gosh, I need to say something. Say it. You want your life to continue to go right, to go good? Say it. Tell what you know. That's all I got to say. Now I'm finna bring back Jason. There go Jason. And then we're gonna bring back the TKO family. That mom and daddy right there. That mom and daddy. That's who that is. Now we got that out the way. I had to put it out there. I had to put it out there. I ain't had no choice. The Lord told me to say it. So I'm going to say it. Okay? Now, before we end this show, I always let the family end the show on PGT time. Again, I'm honored. I'm thankful. I'm grateful to God that he allowed y'all to trust me and Jason to tell your son's story and to be able for you all to get it out. You don't get just snippets of news broadcasting clips. Shit like that. You don't get all that. You get the full story here on PGT time. Now, y'all already know where y'all can find me at. You already know where Jason can find. I ain't gonna even give Jason the opportunity to make me look crazy. Okay, I'm gonna give him the opportunity. Go ahead, Jason. You can't make me look crazy because I ain't tell him. I ain't say where you can find me at, and this is the time.
There it is. All right, you didn't say it at all. Yep.
I ain't say it. So, Jason, you go ahead and say what you say.
You already know. Hey, man, again, you guys already know, man. Don't come looking for me. I ain't got nothing over here for you. But what y'all do need to do is make sure you go follow the TKO family, right? You know what they doing. So I didn't catch it where you guys currently are, but look them up. They got the basketball tournament this weekend. They got the gala this weekend. So if you know you can't make it to this weekend, it's fine. Make sure you watch it. Make sure you share their content. Make sure you donate if you can. Make sure you just be there to continue to push the narrative of a young man that was slain, but now he lives amongst us in a whole different manner. So make sure that you go follow them. But not only that, get ready to come back for next year because you know the basketball tournament going to be next year this time. The gala going to be next year this time. I might have to show up because I might have to just see in person this two-tone sequence. I saw the two-tone sequence.
She done brought out the
championship.
The doggone championship.
Look, so y'all know not to follow me. Go look for the TKO family. They got some great things happening in their community that we all should be a part of and show light and love to. You hear me?
All right, Jason. We would love for you to come down next year for this event. You know, I'm blessed.
Come on down.
I'm blessed.
Facts.
I'm so blessed. I'm able to.
Y'all stuck with me.
I'm gonna need you to be quiet, Jason. Hold on. I'm so blessed. I was able to be a speaker at the event, and I get to, talk to some of the parents that has lost their loved ones, their kids, and all that through gun violence. I will be speaking to them on Saturday, so make sure y'all tune in for that just as well. Again, this is all for TKO. Tommy Lee, baby. I wish I could have met him. I wish I could have met him. But to be able to meet his parents, baby, I'm winning. Jason winning. To be able to meet his parents in such a terrible, horrible situation, I'm totally honored. And like I said before, I always let my families in the show. So I'm going to let y'all in the show. I'm going to tell y'all what y'all going to end the show with saying. Yeah, sometimes I get a little controlling. So right at the end of the show, I get controlling. So I'm going to tell y'all what y'all going to say. Okay? But again, I love you guys so much. Please, 2 things. I want you to let everybody know where they can find you at. That's so important for the next podcasters or TV show people that's watching, so that in case they want to reach out to you to tell your story on their platform where it's reaching even more people, you definitely got to make sure to let people know where they can find you. And if you can't find them, reach out to me and I get in contact for y'all. Okay? I got it like that. I get in contact with them for y'all. Don't worry about it. But also, I want you to, both of you, to talk to the other ones that's out there that has not been caught. I told you, PGT time, we run deep over here. We go deep on Wednesdays. It is what it is. The ones that has not been caught yet, tell them how you feel and whatever it is that you got to say to them. But make sure you let people know where they can find you at, okay? I'm going to pull me and Jason down. Y'all have the floor. I will know when you're done. And when they are done, you know you got to listen to my babies. You got to listen to my babies. And please stay on the TKO family. Stay on for about 2 or 3 minutes after I end the broadcast, okay? Here we go.
We can be found at www.atkOworld.com. That's our website. Social media, we are Ray, RAYTKO Lee. If you're interested in knowing more about, what we do, you can always check that out on our website. We're trying to get more savvy with posting those things. So check out our website, check out our social media, same thing on Instagram, same thing on TikTok. We kind of just throw everything all into one because we do a lot. So we want you to see everything that we do, from our decor business to our property restoration to whatever we're doing in the community nonprofit. It's all there on social medias. What is it? No. And to the guys who were involved, and I'm not just talking about, the 2 that were in court, all of the ones that knew about it, all of the ones that was accepting his calls and accepting other calls, and even the family members, the church members who wrote letters and everything else. Guilt and regret has its way of coming back and seeping in and eating you alive. Do I have to waste my life away wishing ill intent on you? No. The reason that I don't is because now that I've learned how to live, I understand that you're not living at all. I know that you do not have any quality of life. One of you are already, I believe, in prison, and the other one, if you ain't there yet, you already had, the police have tabs on you. Probation and parole's no way to live either. And we know that. Why? Because the street talk.
The street talk.
Period.
And at the end of the day, we ain't got to get you. The universe will.
The universe will.
The universe will.
And that's all we're going to say about that. We're going to plead the fifth.
All I hear is raindrops falling from a rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape. Might have run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And officially, it's official. Ooh. I'm officially missing you.
Peachy Tea Time is for the culture. If you or someone you know that has dealt with the death of a loved one due to gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, or even by the police, Peachy Tea Time also provides a platform for missing person cases as well as wrongfully imprisoned inmates. Please like and share this video to get the word out, so the families can get their loved ones' stories out. Email peachyteatime@gmail.com. You can also DM, inbox, or text to 470-620-9916. Thanks for watching.